Hey guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers franchise mode, and in this one, I think we are going to be entering sell mode, as if we weren't already, to be fair. But we did update our trade block here, as Koskinen was there before, but I have added Cassian, and by chance, if anyone wants him, then you're more than welcome to take Brandon Manning off our hands, as he has 2 years left on a $2.25 million deal. And he's sitting there scratched in the AHL. As for our wants, we have goaltenders, forwards, defensemen from 17 to 22 years of age, and all the draft picks selected. And as for surplus, any forwards, defensemen, or goaltenders 28 or over, we are willing to give up in exchange to get rid of these guys. Because I really don't want to deal with that Koskinen contract. And I tried trading Koskinen, and it is not easy, let me tell you. Especially, even on his current contract, the computers recognize that he has that 3-year extension at 4.5. So you can't exactly cheese the system there, which I like. But, yeah, let's say we try to trade him to maybe Dallas, who wants him. We try to get DeRosier, and maybe we'll get, I don't know, let's try 2 force, and yeah, 2 force and maybe a 5th for this year. So Koskinen, DeRosier, 2 force, and a 5th from the Dallas Stars proposed trade. Based on the needs your offer would fill, we just don't think it's worth it to take on the contract of Mikko Koskinen, meaning it's going to be super hard to trade him. We basically need to either take a 7th, or we need to trade Koskinen with like a 2nd or a 1st, which I'm not about to do because we just can't afford to do that. So let's say we trade him to Nashville for a 7th. Will that work? Well, no, because Nashville has too many goaltenders. So let's see if we take Nashville's lowest overall goaltender back the other way, Westerholm. Or, we'll take Grosnick since he's only got 1 year. 72 overall. Let's see what that does. Trade rejected. So, I mean, obviously Nashville's at the cap, but still, you get what I'm saying. It's going to be really hard to trade Koskinen, so we're just going to let the computers come to us with potential trade offers for Koskinen if they have any. So, and now, with that out of the way, one thing I do want to do is put Jesse Puljujarvi on the third line. He's now a third line checking forward. He has 19 points in 39 games, so that's not too bad, given that his career high is 20 points in 65 games. He already has, in almost half the amount of time, almost the same amount of points. So he's definitely seeing progress, but we're going to move him up to the third line with Kara, and we're going to move Gagne up there with him, as he did, I would imagine, helped out Puljujarvi quite a bit, especially with his puck skills category compared to someone like Brodziak. So we're going to see what that third line can do, and Chason, Brodziak, and Cave can sit there on the fourth line. Now, the thing is that we're 18, 17, and 4. I really don't think this team is going to the playoffs. So, again, we're in sell mode. If teams come to us with offers, we're going to have to seriously consider them. If it obviously has anyone in it other than Nuge, McDavid, Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, or Clefbaum, Larson, or Nurse. Or any of our young guys in the CHL or AHL. That's it. Those are the only guys who I'm not giving up. Everyone else on this team is expendable. Because it's really just, if we take a look at the proposed trade screen here and go to all the values of everyone on this team, it's really just a bunch of garbage after everyone who I don't want to give up. So pretty much everyone on this screen right here, everyone on the screen right now is someone who I do not want to give away. But everyone below Yamamoto is pretty much expendable. I mean, McLeod is 19, Bear's 21, Benson's 20, but those low potentials don't really turn out to be much. So if an offer comes for them, and if it's a good one, then we'll take it. And if an offer comes for any of these guys, even if it's a 7th round pick down here, all these guys down here who have next to nothing value, we should probably consider trading them for that 7th round pick. Because it's, again, just a bunch of garbage over here in terms of depth. So, when it comes to the draft class, our scouts really have not done a good job. We're in January 1st already, and we only have Svaitov and Kako completely scouted. Every other player on the top 7, not even 1 bar scouted. I mean, really? This is terrible. Look at how bad this scouting system is. It's I gotta be honest, it's better than NHL 18, it's better than NHL 17, but it's still it needs so much work. Speaking of scouting, I actually did go out to sign one more European scout. We only had one, and he's scouting in Switzerland, I believe. So we'll get another one in there, and hopefully uncover a few more prospects. But a few more prospects is probably all we'll uncover, given how inefficient our scouts are. So we're going to simulate through, I would guess, to the trade deadline at least, because there's, again, not too many trades that I was able to find. And everyone on the trade block are guys who I want to be traded as soon as possible. So if we get any offers for them, we are definitely taking them. But other than that, there's really no reason to continue pursuing the playoffs with this team, because it's too inconsistent. I mean, you saw last month where we actually weren't too bad. Halfway through the month, we went on to be 18-12-4, I believe it was. But then immediately afterward, it's just nullified with a 5-game losing streak. Not even an overtime or shootout loss in there, just a 5-game regulation losing streak to take us to 18-17-4, which for me, that's just way too inconsistent. And then even the losses in between all those wins that we had are kind of ugly. 7-3 loss, 6-3 loss, 4-2 loss, 4-2 loss. It's just so inconsistent. Even when we do win, there's a lot of losses in between that I don't like. 6-1 loss against Washington. Yeah. Obviously, you got some depth problems on this team, and you got, you don't have a top defenseman. That's another problem. And you don't have a top goaltender. So there really is quite a few issues with this team, and I don't think we're going to be making the playoffs, especially just given, I mean, it's literally back and forth, like, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. It's so inconsistent. Yeah, this is not a playoff team. No way. I mean, let's see here against Carolina and Detroit. 3-1 loss, 4-3. Nope. This is not a playoff team, boys. I'm sorry. It's just not. So I think we'll go up to the trade deadline. We'll see if we get any offers for Koskinen or Manning or Cassian. If we don't, then we're just going to have to move on to the rest of the season, because it's not happening this season. Let's be real. We already have 22 losses, and it's still a month before the trade deadline. And there's already so many teams in front of us. Even Vancouver has already tied us for points. And with the amount of teams in front of us vying for a wild card, I don't see it. I really don't see it. LA and Calgary and San Jose, they all have pretty solid rosters in this. And yes, even LA has a solid roster. So again, I don't see it happening. I really don't. We'll take a look at the stats here real quick. But nothing too in-depth, because this team there's nothing that's inspiring me to make a playoff push right now. There's really not. Even McDavid is kind of underwhelming right now. 44 points in 50 games. Well, I guess that could be attributed to him not having any help. But, I'm sure he's doing the best that he can with what he has. But I'm not seeing enough to warrant making any kind of playoff push. Nuge with 39, Draisaitl 36, Ratty with 30. I mean, you have 120 goal scorer in McDavid at the 50 goal mark, or 50 games played mark. And then Nuge and Draisaitl with 15 and 13. all the guys you expect are leading this team. But everyone else, just pure garbage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this team needs a huge overhaul in the offseason. Goaltenders, let's see. 9-15 for Koskinen. So, at the very least, Koskinen has been consistent, somewhat consistent in terms of his save percentage, but the team itself has not been consistent. Montoya, 9-14. That came down, I believe, from like a 9-30. So he has not been doing well as of recent. Let's check on the AHL real quick. Stellars is another guy who needs to be traded. He's 25 years of age now. Medium starter, 71 overall. He's not... I don't think he's making the show. Stuart Skinner, we'll wait on him, obviously. He's only 20 years old. He's got some time. Yamamoto, 24 points down there in the AHL, 74 overall. Hopefully he can get that up there before next year. And maybe we'll see him crack the roster next year. Probably not, just given the way that they grow in this game. He might be like a 77 by the start of next year. And then maybe he might be a depth forward at that point. Ethan Barrow at 21. Jones with 19. Benson with 16. Yeah, not much else to be excited about down here in Bakersfield. So, we'll check out the team stats, I guess, just to see where our team does need to be improved for the future. But, again, I'm not looking to improve this team anymore right now because it's just, we're not scoring enough. We're not keeping the puck out of the net enough. We're scoring on the power play, so that's the good news, is that we're good on the power play. So our core group of players, of offensive players, are getting it done. And even penalty kill, we're not too shabby. 82.2. But it's just the 5-on-5 that we're so inconsistent with that depth, or lack thereof. So, I think we're going to go up to the trade deadline here. And once again, if we don't get any offers for any of those guys, and if I can't find a trade for guys like Cassian or Benning or Koskinen, then we're just going to take it up to the end. Yeah, really just some uninspiring performances here. 5-2 loss against Philly. Then you had a win. Then you had a loss. Another loss. Then you had a win. A loss. Win. Loss. 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 Win. And Nashville has yet to be played. But I've seen enough to this point where I know we're not making the playoffs. I mean, we're already 27, 29, and 5. If it wasn't happening before, then it definitely is not happening now. We are at 59 points. Anaheim and Calgary are at 72 and 71 respectively. It's not happening. So you may as well try to trade as many players as possible to get as many draft picks back as possible for this year. So what I was thinking, I'm going to try to trade... Who was it? No, it was Manning. I always get Benning and Manning confused. I guess that's another reason to trade Manning. So we're gonna try to find a team for Brandon Manning here. I guess it'll have to be a team that wants him if we're looking to get the most back. So yeah, that's what I mean. LA really started to pick up there towards the end. So maybe if we try to trade Manning to LA, we'll just literally get a 7th back for him. If we can't, then we might have to offer a 7th back as well. Or a 6th or a 5th. So let's see. Proposed trade. Trade rejected. I knew it. Alright, so maybe what we can do here is... Because since Manning is just sitting in the AHL literally being useless, we can try to retain 50% of his salary so that we could just get half of that salary off of the books. See if that works. And that honestly might go through just because that's only 1.1 in salary for a 77 overall. So we're going to try to get a 4th out of this. So Calgary's 4th for this year for Brandon Manning at half his salary to LA. Proposed trade rejected. Alright, so I think they're willing to take him on at this point. It's just a matter of the amount of value going the other way. So we'll try LA's 5th. Proposed trade, there you go. So Brandon Manning, mostly out of here. Still got half his contract. But the good news is that it's only for a year and then some. So... that's good. That's out of the way. And we now have a 5th round pick. There's more good news. And now we're going to try to trade Zach Cassian, as he does have a 2-year contract that I would like to unload. And I would imagine someone would actually take Cassian, just given that He's a fourth line forward, and fourth line forwards, the general salary for them is around 1.5 to 2 mil. So I would imagine we'll be able to dump Cassian pretty easily, or at least a lot easier than Brandon Manning for sure. So, I mean, Ottawa wants him for some reason. I don't know why. But you know what? We'll trade him to Pittsburgh. They're looking to contend here once again. So let's see. If we get like a fourth back, Pittsburgh would have too many skaters. So we'll also take back, let's see, skaters matching block. There's no skaters matching the block. Okay, so we'll just take their lowest value skater. And that would be Eric Branson, which we are not going to take. We're going to take this guy instead, whose name I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce. Pittsburgh would be able to, of course. Okay, so yeah, we'll avoid these cap-strained teams, and we'll try to find a team that doesn't have as much cap on board, such as the Vegas Golden Knights, and they're also a contender. So maybe, just maybe, they would take on the contract of Zach Kassian. Now, they would also have more than 50 players in the organization, so we'd have to check skaters on the block. Lezershin, what is with all these names I can't pronounce? Well, I mean, that's kind of usual, but it seems to be a little bit more than usual today. So we'll take Stefan Matteau back, and of course they would be over the salary cap for next year. Okay, we'll try the Arizona Coyotes. They have a lot of salary cap available, and they're a winning team right now. 37, 22, and 3. Good for them. So let's try to get a fourth back from Arizona for Zach Kassian. And of course, they would have more than 45 skaters, so we're going to have to take someone back. And, no, not going to be Hossa, of course. There's still 3 years left. Jeez, that's brutal. He'll probably end up retiring anyway, but still. Kempe, I would imagine we'll take back. Yeah, so Kassian for a fourth and Kempe, rejected. Okay. We'll see if we can get a fifth back for Kassian. Again, we're just trying to get whatever we can get back at this point, because there's really no point in holding on to someone like Kassian. At least not right now for this team. Proposed trade. Trade rejected still. Oh my goodness. Alright, we'll try 2/6. Proposed trade. Rejected. Try 1/6. Nope. Can we trade him for 1/7? Please? Proposed trade. Alright, so it looks like we might need to retain a little bit of salary from Kassian as well. We'll retain, I don't know, 35%. So that'll take him down to what? 1.3, 1.2 something. So maybe we'll try to get a fifth or even a fourth back for Kassian here with that retained salary. Proposed trade? Still not. Okay. How about a fifth for next year? Proposed trade? Nope. How about those 2/6 again? You willing to do that? You willing to do that for me? Proposed trade? Trade rejected. 1/6? Nope. Come on, game. Work with me here. 1/7. Proposed trade? Still not. I would imagine we'll be able to dump Kassian pretty easily, or at least a lot easier than Brandon Manning for sure. We're just going to see if we can get whatever for Koskinen, to be honest, because as you saw before, it's going to be very hard to trade him. I'd be surprised if we get anything more than a third back. I mean, let's see if we could even get this. So, too many goaltenders, so we're going to have to take back, I guess it'd be McIntyre. Yeah. So, let's see. Proposed trade, rejected. Yeah, they're not interested in taking on the extra salary. What if we literally just got a 7th from the New York Rangers and McIntyre for Koskinen? Proposed trade? Nope. It's not working. It's just not working for Koskinen. We might have to, honestly, trade a draft pick the other way. Let's see if we can... Let's see if they'll accept this even. Proposed trade? Yeah, they're not even doing that. So, a Koskinen trade is not happening. It's just not. We're probably going to have to end up buying him out, if anything. That's my guess. And we'll see if we can try to trade Kassian here again, but... yeah, this is a huge yikes. Jeez, Peter Chiarelli. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you did it here, but it's, you managed to overpay just about everybody on this team. Besides maybe McDavid and Draisaitl. Yeah, so let's try to get a 7th back for Cassian at half of his salary. And of course, we have to take another player back. Skaters match and block. We'll take Dickinson back the other way. I don't think that's Jason Dickinson. I wouldn't imagine. Yeah, Josh Dickinson. So we'll take him back the other way. Propose trade. There you go. Trade accepted. So we had to retain half his salary in order to get that to work. But we got most of the bad contracts out of here besides, of course, Koskinen. But the good news is we did get the contracts of Cassian and Manning out of here. And of course, it took retaining 50% of the salary to do that. But that's a little extra salary going into free agency this year. So that should end up working out in our favor. Now, we're going to put Malone in here because why not? We're tanking anyway. There's really no point in giving anyone like Kara or Gagne time up here on the second line. So, I mean, plus, I want Gagne to help out Puljujärvi, and it seems like he's doing that. Puljujärvi has been producing at a decent rate here. He has 30 points in 61 games played, 9 power play points. Seems like he's grown pretty well, and hopefully he continues to grow. And hopefully by the start of next season, he'll be maybe in the low 80s. If maybe even mid 80s. We'll see. Depending on how the offseason goes. So as you guys saw, we're definitely not trading Koskinen. There's just no way. So we're going to see the trading block here once more. Again, we managed to get Cassian and Manning out of here with those 50% retained salaries. We're just going to go the rest of the season here. We'll try to trade Koskinen in the offseason, even though I really don't think that's happening. I mean, what we could do is, again, retain 50% of his salary, but that would be the best case scenario. So, yeah, again, this team is really uninspired. So, we're going to go the rest of the season here, and I'll see you guys in 1 second. But before we continue, I just want to check out the draft class, see what our scouts have been doing. And of course, nothing. Absolutely nothing. EA, your scouts suck, dude. Holy crap, look at this. Where's all the prospects? Where are all the prospects? As we go into... Hold on. Stop the simulation. As we go into our assigned scouts, have they been doing anything? Have they been doing anything all year? I mean, I'm 99% certain that they are set to auto. Look at all this. Oh my goodness. The scouting system in this game, man. Oof. That's super annoying. Look at this. Like, they have all these prospects on their list. And they have what? 5 of the top 30 prospects completely uncovered? It's ridiculous. Svaitov, Kako, let's see, who else? Soderstrom, Bruin, and Reichel. I mean, that's actually 5. Oh my god. We don't even have Hunter Stoner scouted at all yet. None of these guys are being scouted. Oh my goodness, EA Sports. Yikes. I mean, I would understand if some of these guys were maybe in the rest of the world or in Russia or even in Europe where there's a lot of leagues and it's kind of hard to cover all of them. But Hunter Stoner is in the US West. Bowen Byram's in the WHL. I mean, really? Kirby Doc, however you pronounce it, is in the WHL as well. And Michael Bukovic is in the OHL. He's not completely scouted yet, and he's ranked 9. Oh my god, EA. Alright, let's, you know what, I'm gonna assign the scouts myself because they aren't doing anything, it seems like. So we're going to send one of these U.S. Central Scouts out to the U.S. West because that's where Hunter Stoner is. I mean, what are they doing? It doesn't make sense. They should have at least the top 30 prospects scouted at this point. It's already late March. Oh my god. So we finished off the season 35-41-6. Really not a good year for the Edmonton Oilers. And of course, the Bakersfield Condors are right now 19-42-4. So that is also brutal. But nonetheless, we finished last in the Pacific Division with 76 points. Let's see where we finished in the NHL to see where our lottery pick could be. So let's see, not just Pacific, we're going to check, come on out, entire league. So, points. As we go down the list, where are we? And actually, we'll check where Colorado is as well. Yeah, Colorado's in 9th, yeah. So, we're going to hope that Colorado gets out in the first round so that we get a slightly higher pick out of that. So, let's see, where are we? Edmonton, we are 28th in the league. We have the 4th best odds at the first overall pick. And teams below us, the Ottawa Senators, the New Jersey Devils, and the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's hope that the hockey gods give your Edmonton Oilers some luck once again in the draft lottery. Normally in real life, if the Edmonton Oilers had gotten the first overall pick or the second overall pick, everyone probably would have righted. But in this simulation, we are hoping for the good EA karma, I guess. I mean, I don't know what we would have done to get good karma. But anyway, we're going to check out the end of the season stats. As McDavid with 77 points, Nuge 66, Draisaitl only with 51. So he really hurt from not having any help on his side. But the good news, Jesse Puljujarvi with 43 points in his, well, not rookie season. I was about to say rookie season, but in his second season, he has 43 points in the first season in the simulation. So if he has 43 points as a 79 overall with not that much help beside him, I mean, he was playing with, who was it? Gagne, Brodziak, and Kara for the majority of the year. So you got to think we're seeing a bright spot in Jesse Puljujarvi. Ty Ratty with 43. Reeder with 41. Got 11 goals. So he finally picked up the pace with the goal scoring. But, and he got in between 10 and 12 goals. And guess what? We didn't make the playoffs. Funny how that works. Kara with 35. Gagne 35. Chason 32. Said it right this time. Clefbaum 30. That's a huge problem too. We definitely need a top defenseman. So if we don't get the first overall pick, then I'm definitely hoping for that second overall pick to get Hunter Stoner, because we really just need a defenseman. But the good news is, since we have the 4th best odds at the first overall pick, we can't drop any further than 7th, which is where I believe Philip Broberg was on the Central Scouting rankings. So regardless of where we end up, we're going to get an elite defenseman. Or we get the first overall pick and maybe we get Svitov. And he's a franchise potential. So him, McDavid, and Puljujarvi in the first line of the future, whoa, that'd be dirty. Larson with 20, Brodziak with 19, Nurse with 17, Benning 14, Gravel with 8, Cave with 7, Petrovich with 6, Malone with 4. Look at all this garbage, dude. Puljujarvi. Good news, Puljujarvi, top of the list in plus minus, plus 10. So putting them on a line with Kara and Gagne looks like worked out. They were a great defensive line. Plus 10, plus 9, plus 3. They weren't on for too many goals against, so, or at least not as many goals against as everyone else. So there's some good news. A silver lining in this season, for sure. Face-offs, let's see, McDavid, yep. Malone, I mean, he took 23 in the entire year. Draisaitl, 52.1, good. Brodziak, that's good. So Brodziak, even though he has one more year left on his deal after this year, he still could be technically valuable for next season as a veteran presence, fourth line center, penalty killer maybe. So I think I want to keep Brodziak on for next year, presuming he doesn't drop. If he does, then oh well. But you know what? He's a solid veteran presence down there on the fourth line. And then unfortunately, Kara with a 44%. Really not great. Hits. Larson leads the way with 157. Draisaitl 151. Klefbom 149. So no lack of physicality here. It doesn't look like in Edmonton. I mean, Puljujärvi had 23, then Malone 28. Ratty, Gagne, Cave. Most of these guys will be gone. I mean, Malone, Ratty, Gagne, Cave. They'll all probably be gone by at least by the end of next season, if not this offseason. So definitely no lack of physicality here in Edmonton. The problem is depth and scoring on the back end, as well as you need a stud goaltender. So Draisaitl was very good defensively. 70 takeaways, 243 giveaways. Reader, bad. Basically in all aspects of the game. He wasn't even a hit per game, so he's really kind of useless there on that first line. Although he is playing way above his head. He's playing with McDavid and Nuge. So McDavid with 62 takeaways to 38 giveaways. I expect no less. Nuge, good. Ratty was good. Klefbom was good for a defenseman. Kara, not great. Puljujärvi was great, actually, for a 20-year-old especially. Gagne could have been better. Larson could be slightly better. Nurse was good. Brodziak could have been a lot better. So there's a downfall to Brodziak's game, and that'd be his takeaways to giveaways. But he is nonetheless a solid face-off guy. So, again, he may be someone we cut, maybe not, depending on what happens in the offseason. Chason with 36 to 34, not too bad. Benning, 32-66. Petrovich, 21 to 60. Cave, 15 to 29. Malone, 5 to 16. Let's see fights. Carroll with 3. Petrovich with 2. Nurse and Malone with 1 each. Goaltenders, Koskinen, 910 save percentage. Montoya, 918. Now, I forgot to trade Stellars, unfortunately, so he's just going to have to probably drop to free agency. I don't think he had too much value anyway on him. 896 save percentage for him, 4 shutouts in 41 games. Skinner with an 888 save percentage, 30 games, 6 wins. Yeah. Let's see forwards. Yamamoto with 42 points in the AHL. Looking like he could jump up to a 77 by next year. Benson with 30, 69 overall. And let's see, defensemen. Bear and Jones, 32 and 27 respectively. Bear jumped 1 overall point, so that's kind of good news. But other than that, not really too much good news to go around in the Edmonton Oilers organization. So now, please, scouts, please, no, okay. So, they managed to somewhat uncover Broberg. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be a pain draft, isn't it? This is going to be a pain of a draft. Because we basically only have like 5 or 6 guys completely uncovered. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, just given that it's year number 1 and we know the majority of these prospects who are in round number 1, such as Bowen Byram, we know he's a medium elite. Broberg, we know he's a medium elite. Kako, obviously, is fully uncovered at this point. So I'd like to know all these guys who are computer generated, such as Hunter Stoner, Teal, Delmore. I mean, they're probably medium elites, just given that they're within the top 6, but still. Yeah, there's really not going to be much depth to this draft. It's mostly going to be shots in the dark. Because, I mean, the best medium elite that could be here in this draft that's going late is Declan Calvert, who has a 3-bar medium elite, so he may not even be a medium elite. So we're going to pin him. We're going to see if we can get Declan Calvert, but other than that, there's no depth to this draft at all because our scouts were so bad. Oh, jeez. I mean, there's Engeland and Gruey. I'd take Engeland first, for sure. Soderstrom and Kostitsin, I mean, we're getting the top pick, so I'd rather obviously take one of the top 7 guys. And there's just literally nothing in this draft. Oh, the scouts suck. Alright, so I guess at this point, all that there's left to do is sim up to the draft lottery and see where we stand. So, hockey gods, I'm asking you ahead of time, please do the Edmonton Oilers a huge favor here. Give us at least the 3rd overall pick so we could take Bowen Byram at the very least. If not, the 2nd or the 1st would be wonderful. Let's get it underway. Alright, the playoffs are complete and the Stanley Cup champions are the Vegas Golden Knights in year number 1 and year 2 for the Vegas Golden Knights. So they get their first cup in 2 years. Wow. Stockton Heat are the Calder Cup champions as well. So here we go. Draft lottery, please. And of course, well, at least we got number 3. We got the 3rd overall pick, so we're at least guaranteed Bowen Byram. That we can be thankful for. But it appears this game sometimes can be very realistic. The New Jersey Devils have gotten the 1st overall pick, so it looks like their luck in real life, the Taylor Hall magic, not only carries over from real life, but it also is in the game. So maybe we just need to get Taylor Hall back, man. That'd be so nice. But the good news, once again, we are guaranteed the 3rd overall pick. Maybe we could get Bowen Byram, or if Hunter Stoner falls, then we could take Hunter Stoner. That'd be great as well. So, all the retirements here. Kolyakovo, Clarkson, Zetterberg, Chara. Goaltenders, let's see. No one. Alright. So, a bunch of scout retirements. Yep, there we go. Alright, so, I'm not going to do the draft in this one. It's been a long episode already. But, your Vegas Golden Knights are the Stanley Cup champions. And your Edmonton Oilers are picking 3rd overall in the 2019 draft. And there you go. Okay, we finally have a decent reading on some of these prospects. So, Bowen Byram actually dropped down to 6. Broberg is at 7 still. Kakko's at 5. So, Svitov is definitely going first. We know that much. I really, really hope that Hunter Stoner drops to number 3. I really want Hunter Stoner. But if not, then it looks like we have a pretty good option in Jerry Teal, who is a 6'4" winger, and we could definitely use a winger. And he's a power forward as well, so he would be replacing the likes of Milan Lucic, Zach Kassian. So now you have that elite power forward to go alongside of Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So getting Jerry Teal wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I do want Hunter Stoner as that elite anchor defenseman. So we'll see what happens. Regardless, we're getting a good player, whether it's Stoner or Teal, or if by chance Svitov drops, then I would be officially impressed. And before we end things off, just so that I don't forget, we are going to check the playoff tree and the awards. So the Vegas Golden Knights beat out the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup. There's the rest of the playoff bracket. The Vegas Golden Knights swept the St. Louis Blues in the Western Conference Final. The Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Final in 5 games. Very nice. Let's check out the awards. So obviously the Vegas Golden Knights, after losing it to the Washington Capitals, come back the next year and win it. President's Trophy goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it was Pittsburgh and Vegas in the final. Player awards, Patrick Kane gets the Art Ross. Hart Memorial, Ovi. Norris goes to Carlson. John Carlson, I should specify. Lady Byng goes to Patrick Kane. Calder goes to Elias Pettersson. Conn Smythe goes to Marc-Andre Fleury. The Flower gets it. Vezina goes to Anderson of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jennings goes to Vasilevsky. Masterton goes to Dylan DeMello of the Ottawa Senators. Selke goes to Ryan O'Reilly. Lindsay goes to Ovechkin. And the Maurice Richard goes to Patrick Kane as well. So no Ovi on the Maurice Richard. So actually, before we end things off, I gotta make a habit of doing this. Let's just check the stats for the entire NHL. And I don't know why I started to go downwards there, because we're probably closer to the top of the entire league than we are at the bottom, at least in terms of the names of the teams. So Patrick Kane, not a single 100-point scorer this year. Not a single 90-point guy either. Patrick Kane with 88 points. 53 goals, though. Ovi with 86. Crosby, 85. Tarasenko, 82 and 82. And then everyone else after that, below point per game. Castle with 81. McKinnon, 79. Matthews, 78. Stamkos, 77. Gaudreau, 77. McDavid, 77. Rantanen, 77. O'Reilly, 77. Atkinson, 76. Kopitar, 76. Marchand, 76. Kuznetsov, Carlson, all with 76. Getzlaf, 75. Mark Stone, 74. And you get the picture. Kovalchuk with 72. Jeez, and as an 86 overall in the LA Kings. Yeah, he must be playing with Kopitar. And goaltenders. Let's see. Minimum of, we'll say 30 games. Actually, we'll go 40. So save percentage, the best, Frederik Andersen, then Holtby, Lundqvist, Fleury, Gibson, Vasilevsky, Bobrovsky, Dubnyk, Rene. Goals against per game, Mrazek's up there in terms of being the worst. And then Anderson, Holtby, Fleury, Gibson, Rene, basically all the same guys. Let's see who had the most wins. And that would be Matt Murray and Pekka Rene, tied for the lead. Shutouts, Holtby with 13 and Dubnyk with 12. For guys both with double digits. Very impressive. So that'll just about do it for this one. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next one when we get to the year 1 draft.